and that we get mired in bad analogies. And as some of you know, if you read the CEP blog, I don't like analogies between philanthropy and business because I think they confuse things a lot. And even in the area of the foundation grantee relationship, we have these analogies, and they're commonly used. So I don't mean to pick on the people who use them. I just don't think they're helpful. So one of them is grantees are like our vendor. They're like the guys who fix your roof. And you just care if the roof is fixed, and you don't really care about anything else. And for some of your work, I get it. You're funding a research piece at a department at a university, and you're not really interested in the larger department or the university. Sometimes that is true. But I'd argue that for most of you, there are many grantees whose organizational health should be important for your ability to achieve your goals, and that the vendor relationship isn't the right analog in most cases. Another really common analog is customer. Grantees are our customers. And I don't think this one works either because, as my colleague Kevin Bolduc always points out, the money's flowing in the opposite direction. And the dynamics are completely different. Some of you saw my kids here last night. I was out to dinner with them one time when they were younger with my wife, and we were like celebrating something. We were at a restaurant we shouldn't really have been at with an 11 and an 8-year-old. I don't know what we were doing, but we had justified it somehow. And there we were, and my 11-year-old said, "Mom, there's a mouse." And she said, "Mom, there's another mouse." And my wife went up to tell the folks who work at the restaurant. Turns out there were mice everywhere. My 8-year-old is not, I mean, she's now 12, but she wasn't a rodent fan then. And she isn't now. And so we were trying to keep her in the dark, but eventually she figured it out. She didn't want her feet to touch the ground. I had to carry her out. But I digress. The restaurant did not handle the situation well. They kind of minimized it, like it's only a couple. And so what did I do? I did what every red-blooded American in the current moment in time would do. I trashed them online. On every site I could think of. If you go to TripAdvisor and search, that it's still there. So around the same time, I had a bad interaction with a foundation program officer. I'll just say I did not feel similarly empowered to make my views known. And I think you get why. Okay, so I don't think that's a good analog. And the third one, and a lot of you use this, but I don't think it's helpful either, is investor-investee. And I get it, you getting a return and it's getting social impact, but it doesn't feel right in terms of the dynamic. And I think it's as simple as this: you don't own them, right? And I think it undermines the partnership between funders and grantees. I know some of you may differ, but I don't think that's a great analog either. So I think the best analog for the foundation-grantee relationship is the foundation-grantee relationship. It is just different. And now I'm about to tell you what I think it takes to have strong relationships, and you'll say, well, that's what it takes to have strong relationships in anything, and maybe there's some truth in that. But if you're not sensitive to the differences in the dynamics, really sensitive, then I think it can create problems.